Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we must have just ended a war? Oh yeah, we just made everyone very angry. That's right. Ray is now, I believe, the current emperor, but these guys are going to become the next emperor. The first thing I want to do here is I want to mothball all of these forts. There we go. That'll be fine. And then I want to do a land seizure. Is this a good time? It is. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, this is probably just going to expire. I really don't want to have it expire, though. It's going to be tough. I wonder if we could get fleet basing rights with Kilwa. If we could, that would be great, but no, they're our rival. There's absolutely no way they're going to allow that. If we could get it with Mali, but they're our rival as well. So that's not going to be a thing. Maybe Scotland? Maybe. If we could repair here, and then head out and repair here, we can probably make our way to the Persian Gulf without losing too many ships. In theory. Let's improve relations with Scotland for right now. I'm not planning on going to war for a little while here, so we don't have any overextension at this juncture. But we do have some vassals that are very upset. Oh, we have an extra diplomat? When did that happen? Oh, it must be because we're an elector. Let's see. Oh, it's from the government rank. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We did upgrade our government rank. So that sounds good. At this point, we are an elector, and we would like to get some of these other guys to not be electors, or more specifically, to be our vassal. So Taiz, Anatoklion, Alexandria, Al Said, Ray, and Khuzestan. Okay. So that's noted. Let's take a look at our vassals. So we've got these guys right over here. They're pretty upset with us, no doubt about it. That's absolutely fine for now. We're currently improving relations with Fars, so I want to go and start improving relations, I think, with Armenia next. Well, this is Kermanshah. This is close enough. It doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and improve relations there, and that'll be fine for now. Now, I do want to get some province improvements going. Apparently, we have a great synagogue that we can build, but it's not showing up in the list. Interesting. We could potentially build it here. So this has a counting house for the moment, a town hall, farm estate, conscription center. I'm going to get rid of the dry dock here. And we're going to build a great synagogue there. So that sounds good. And then, is that everywhere where we can build one? No, actually, there are some areas out over here where great synagogues could theoretically be built. But I kind of want to keep everything there. So that's fine for now. We're just going to go through the list for the moment. So we can build a town hall. That seems good. We can build some state houses. We'll get those underway. That seems absolutely fine. Now, how's the spread of industrialization going? It should be pretty quick here, right? In theory? Quick-ish. It did just originate. So that was only about 6 months ago. So I'm not terribly concerned about it, but I would definitely like it to proceed a little bit more. We're currently making 60 ducats per month, and that's understood. Industrial urbanization. Ooh. Absolutely do this. Come one, come all. We don't have an option, so I wonder if Portugal would give us basing rights, actually. They would. I'm going to pull back from here. We can go to here, and then from there, potentially sail around to here. Should be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these ships, and we're going to pull them back to here. Can they be upgraded? No. No ships in this fleet can be upgraded at this time. Okay. So that seems fine. I want to go talk to Portugal, and I want to ask for fleet basing rights. They'll charge us a fee of 2 ducats per month. So that's understood. And we're going to sail on down to right here. We don't have military. Oh, we selected the army. I wanted to select the navy. There we go. We want to sail down to here. Actually, they have South Africa as well, Cape of Good Hope. Okay, so we'll sail here and repair, and then we'll sail to here and repair, and then we'll sail up over this way and probably repair here. I just don't want to lose ships on this, right? So let's see here. Lose 500 ducats. That's actually okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. Where are our fleets at this point? So this is... we made it down here. So I do want to roll up an admiral, I think, but I don't want to spend diplomatic power on it, so I'm going to avoid that for the moment. We'll give this a month tick. This should bring us all back up to 100. There we go. And then we're going to hop over to here, just sailing as far as we can while maintaining the Portuguese ports. Okay, so we actually didn't take any damage there. So next we're going to sail all the way up. This is a big leg, but we shouldn't lose anything at all. Honestly, I think that our ships are probably good enough that we could have made it without repairs. We'll just hop in here. And yeah, it's that global ship repair that's really, really helping us out. So we'll protect trade over in the Persian Gulf, which is this out over here, the Basra trade node. What do we need for this anyway? We need 15% or more trade power. Okay, we currently have 2%. With our ships, what does that put us at? 3%. Wait, no, that worked. This is the Basra trade node. We're at 25%. Okay, so now I'm going to move these guys back over to the Seville trade node. I think they're fine to just waltz on over there. Should be fine. 57 ducats per month from that. That's a lot of ducats per month. So we're going to hop on over there, and I'm going to wait. I want to keep an eye on this. So I'm going to wait to get rid of the fleet basing rights, but I will get rid of them soon. Yeah, our naval attrition isn't too bad here, to be honest. I mean, out over here it might be kind of bad, but yeah, this isn't too bad at all. So this is fine. Completely and totally A-okay. So at this point, we can go talk to Portugal and be like, we don't need fleet basing rights anymore. Perfect. So that's absolutely great. And I would like to get another diplomat going to one of our subjects, I feel like. And that's going to be Armenia. So Armenia is these guys up over here. And we're going to start working on improving relations here. Now, there's only so much relation improvement we can do, right? They're very upset about the forced vassalization, the aggressive expansion, the fact that we were at war, and mostly the unlawful territory. Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. So for the time being, that is fine. I want to check in on this, though. So we really need some dip tech. We can't change this for another 3 years. We're only getting +3 right now. Policies are -2, national focus -1. Yeah, we absolutely need to get that shifted over. So that's going to be another 3 years before we can do that, and that's okay. But what this tells me is that I want to potentially go after Ray. But more importantly than that, I'm going to pull back from here. And we're going to talk to these guys. Now, they're still pretty upset at us. We can get them up by 50. Oh, wait, we can royal marry them. That's absolutely something I want to do. Okay, so we're at 122 right now. So if we were to do a great power influence, that would boost this by 25. Do they have any debt? They don't. Okay, so this would boost it by 25. So that brings them up to 147. Okay. It's now 149 because it was January, and we can bring up the relations by an additional 30. We're going to be very close to being able to annex them. And that's, of course, going to cost diplomatic power, but we want to get that done fairly soon. So we want to get them annexing, but we need to, this would be at 179, so we need to send them a gift at this point. And it would be 150 ducats. There we go, so that's 174. And then we're going to need to improve relation with them. So we'll get that going until they're at 190. Perfect. So that's not going to take very long, but I want to get them annexed fairly soon here. They've been around for a while, and we need to change that. So it's 1762 right now. That's absolutely noted. And we'll just let that continue for a little bit. We can celebrate a festival, which I'd like to do. And I would love to start carving into some of these electorates, like Alexandria. Unfortunately, they're part of the coalition, so there's not too much we can do about that right now. Basically, everyone in the Empire is in the coalition against us. And that's, you know, mildly concerning. We could go down and attack, like, Greater Air down over here. They're allied with Mali, so we would definitely have to fight a big boy in order to do that. We could also attack Bazin. And that's an interesting idea. That would allow us to fight Thais, actually. That's a very interesting idea. Let's set an agenda here. What do we got? Anything good here? Base tax in Judea? That's actually pretty okay. Base production in Zidane? Oh, I want to do that so badly. But we don't really need the ducats. And we need the diplomatic power. So I'm going to go with this one. This is going to increase our base tax in Sueda. It's not ideal. But there we go. We'll get that completed. So that seems good for now. We'll just get that on cooldown. And these guys are going to be eligible to be annexed very, very soon. Next month tick. So we're going to stop the relation improvement here now. There we go. And we'll get them annexed. Now that's going to cost diplomatic power every single month. That's 2 diplomatic power per month at this moment. So that's definitely understood. I'm also thinking about increasing our stability at this time, but I think for the moment I'm going to hold off on that. Okay, local autonomy is fine. Diplomatic power is very good. I'm going to move these 2 armies down to Sinai, and we're going to head on up with our transport fleet here. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to fight Bazin, and I want to... They're allied with Thais and Wandala, so Wandala is right here. Thais is right here. So we're going to move these guys south. And we're going to send 1 army group for each of these. So we're just going to sail on down to here. I'm going to unmothball this fort and this fort. Is there a fort in Mecca? Yes. This fort. I'll also do the one in Medina for right now. And then this fort up over here. Now, they're going to all automatically become unmothballed. But those are the forts that we're going to have active, so I want them to be, like, replenishing. We are going to be going to war here very, very shortly. Very, very shortly indeed. We're just waiting for some of these forces to get into position, and these guys, they can stop drilling. Okay. So that's all looking fine for now. It's 1763. Can we change over to dip focus? No, we cannot. Okay. So we're definitely going to want to be on dip focus pretty soon. But we can't do that for about another year. So that's understood. We're in position now, so I want to declare this war. So at this point, we're going to not co-belligerent Thais. We're going to fight Wandala, and we don't have any diplomats to send. Yeah, we're going to pull back this guy. Lebanon embraced industrialization. Good for them. How are we doing on that, anyway? It's not in any of our provinces at this point. It's almost 60% in our capital. How's Rome doing? 67 up there. Okay, yeah. We're definitely making progress on it. We'll have it soon enough. So that seems good. I do want to go ahead and launch this attack at this time. So we're going to do this. They have 88k. That's understood. Okay, so these guys are being held in reserve up here. I'm going to keep them drilling. We are holding this army in reserve. And we're going to mothball all of our forts except this fort this fort, and this fort. And actually, we don't need this one. So I'm just going to delete that fort. This one kind of takes over from that. So that looks good at this point. And we are going to launch an attack right out over here. And right in here. This is potentially going to be problematic here, but we'll see how that goes. These are high-level forts here, and our armies could probably use some expansion. We'll see how that ends up going. Okay, so we're making some progress here. We see a 5K stack walking directly into us here. That's suspicious. That's very suspicious. Thais has 256k troops. Let's move some additional troops over. I didn't realize Thais was that strong. That's a lot of troops. That's a lot of troops. So they definitely have more troops behind this. 1,000%. I'm going to move up over here. Okay, sure, this is fine. So how many troops does Bazin have? They have 88k and 74k here. So we should be fine in Bazin and Wandala, but I'm definitely concerned about Thais. So I dispatched this fleet up over this way. We can grab these if we feel we need them. France is actually willing to join us on this. Let's bring in France. That sounds good. So I'm concerned about Thais at this point. No doubt about that. So you can see they're moving in to attack us here, and these guys, I'm going to have them stop moving. If we force march them, no, I'm not going to have them stop moving. They stopped moving in to attack us here. That's good. The reason I didn't want to force march these guys is because their morale was low. So we're going to walk in down over this way. Hang on. So they are currently moving in to fight us here. So we'll reinforce this and see how this goes. So at this point, they have a numerical advantage. We rolled a 2. But our stats are better. So you can see here that we've got 115 discipline to their 111, 7.8 morale to their 7.3, and 3.4 military tactics to their 3.2. Unfortunately, we just rolled really, really, really badly on this first start. We rolled a 2 minus 2. So that's a 0. And they rolled a 9 plus 1. That's a 10. We rolled incredibly poorly on that, and there's not much we can do about it other than just take the L. So we're just going to do that. We're going to retreat all the way back up there, but we know that our troops are better than theirs. So we'll reinforce it, and we'll just hope that we roll better next time. That's the only thing that we can do. That was just a really, really bad initial roll, but our stats are better overall. So that was rough, no doubt about it. We're going to get that replenished, and we're going to get turned around. They're trying to siege here, and that's a good thing for us. We're actually very happy about that. So the siege here is over, and I want to continue to push in out over this way. So that looks good. We're going to win this siege, and of course, France is going to show up eventually, which would be great. But we're going to get turned right on around here, and we're going to walk back down to Mecca. So we just won the siege here as well. That's a very big deal. So we're going to move out here. There's a lot of forts in this area, so we're just going to have to slowly siege our way through this. That's understood. So down over here, we can see that they have a fairly large force right here, and we've just started this siege. So I want to walk down over here. This is going to arrive on 11 February. If we move these in, that'll be 3 February. So let's... Okay. Peasants have revolted up here in our vassal state. For the moment, that's fine. So we want to wait until this will arrive on 11 February as well. We do see that they have a lot of troops over here. Who sent these troops? Okay, so they have a large amount of their forces here as of right now. Yeah, that's a significant amount of their troops here. So we're locked into this, and we should definitely have this force reinforce this. But we're going to head down over this way. They're going to take a lot of attrition from this. So we can see 75k, 98k, and 66k on the manpower. We're at 202k. So we're absolutely going to out-attrition them. No doubt about that. But this battle is going to be tough for us. We are the defender here, but they have a huge numerical advantage. So we may want to retreat back over this way. Oh, that is a terrible retreat. We retreated in different directions, and both of us retreated only one province away. These armies are probably stack wiped now. That was really bad. Okay, we need to try to group these up. This will be on 15 March and 13 March. Can we get out? 13 March? Maybe. It's a hard maybe. We can try to move these guys down. I think we're best off just holding our position here. But these armies are probably stack wiped because that was an absolutely abysmal retreat. But I'm not terribly surprised about that, right? I want these guys to head in here and stack wipe this, including you. Get in there. And this battle is going to happen before the month tick, but we did have one month tick there, but this is probably still stack wiped. Yeah, stack wiped. So that's understood. They had a huge army here. I was not anticipating them having that big of an army right here. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll get it re-recruited. It's not a big deal. So we're going to recruit a unit of green coat infantry here and here, and that'll be fine. So we're going to attack down over this way, and we're just going to keep these armies relatively spread out. This is fine. They can run around over here if they like. Keep in mind, we have an absolutely huge manpower advantage. But if we keep taking hits like that, it won't last forever. But look at that. Thais is down to 155k on their manpower. So that's looking very good. We need to have an additional army here in order to make progress on this siege at this point. So that's fine. We'll get that going. And then this, of course, is... Let's see. That is 14, 6, and 20 is our current size. What's our combat width right now? Still 40. Okay. So 20 and 6 and 14. There we go. 20, 6, and 14. Okay. So that was a lot of manpower that we just spent on replenishing that. Absolutely. No doubt about that. So for now, we can push down over here. We know their forces are here. So that seems relatively safe for now. They're probably going to come try to deal with this next, is my guess. But France is also going to be making their way over. So France has an army right here, and the French army is going to be pretty impressive, actually. But it absolutely looks like their main force is coming out over here, which is kind of what we want to see. So that looks good. And we're going to be slowly regenerating manpower. Almost 3,000 per month. That's not that slow, actually. But this is a big war. I wasn't expecting it to be quite this much. We can see Thais is down to 19k manpower at this point. 55k and 60k. So we definitely have a significant manpower advantage right now. So France is making their way down this direction. France should have absolutely no interest in this territory, in theory. But my interest is in France actually fighting them and exhausting some of their manpower. That's what I'm interested in here. So we're just going to continue to cap forts down over here in Wandala, and that would be great. We can take some territory down here, and I would not mind that. So France is attacking out over here. We're, of course, getting these armies back up and running over here. So we have this leader here, and I'm going to have that be set to drilling. And this leader here, and we're going to be drilling here, because we need to build our drill back up on those armies. France is going to handle this side for now. So we won the Siege of Canaan, And we can definitely see that they have forces on the way over here. So this is currently Bazin and Wandala in this region. They're currently walking here. And my question is, to what end? We've got this fort right here. And this fort right here. We can stack wipe this 2K stack. And then make our way over to here and group our army together. That's my plan right now. Okay, the National Bank has paid dividends. Thanks, National Bank. So that sounds good. They're currently sieging here. I don't care about that. So we stack wipe this, and we're making our way in here. I'd love to see rapid progress on this siege, which is why we're doubling up on it. It's not good to double up on it like this in terms of manpower. So that's going to be rough. But France is up over here. They've got that being dealt with. Seems good. Now Portugal's willing to join us. Come on in, Portugal. So we're absolutely delighted to have our allies actually helping us in one of our wars for once. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to work on this war. It's definitely a little spicier than I thought it was going to be, but with our allies, we'll have no problem. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.